I think it's a great time to be a soybean grower and in the soybean business.
Hello and welcome to this edition of the State of Soy. I'm Aaron Putsey and I'm visiting with Matt Giltner. Matt serves as the commercial manager for ADM here for Iowa operations. And first of all, welcome to the State of Soy.
Well, thanks for having me, and thanks for having me at your beautiful building.
What would you like farmers to know about ADM?
You know, ADM has been around a long time, and as largest processor of soybeans in the United States, we're very proud of our heritage here and very proud of our work with farmers in the United States. So I'm happy to be here.
You talk about an industry that is evolving, to say the least. What's the evolution like at ADM?
Number one, what's driving this evolution? And it's mainly being driven by renewable green diesel. So we see this large expansion in the industry that's taking place now. Several plants already online, several more plants to come online in the next 2 to 3 years. So it's very exciting for the soy industry, should be very exciting for soybean farmers. For ADM, we have one new plant that we've put online in Spiritwood. It's operational and running great. We're very excited about that. And we're doing several improvements at many of our other plants to expand, improve processes, and we're doing that currently in our Des Moines plant. So,
you're here at the Iowa Soybean Association to really have a conversation with our 22 farmer directors that lead and direct the work of the Iowa Soybean Association. What are a couple that come to mind in your role as you see it, either a strength, a weakness, an opportunity, or a threat impacting the crush business?
Sure. So I think one of the concerns with the huge expansion in our crush industry in the United States is the output of meal and where the meal is going to go. So it's being driven by the oil side of the business, right? But you also you're making 44 pounds of soybean meal per bushel of soybeans. So the exciting thing in that space is that we're already seeing that soybean demand is robust, and we think we have plenty of export corridors and domestic consumption to be able to handle that increased output. So,
farmers are familiar with some of the tried and true markets. We often talk about China, we talk about the Philippines, we talk about Egypt and Mexico. Those are all really good consumers. What would be maybe that next tier that you think holds tremendous promise for exports?
Well, I think we're going to continue to see growth in Mexico, and that's our neighbor, so that's a perfect place for us to continue to export larger volumes. And I think Southeast Asia is another place that we're going to take a lot larger amount of exports. And I think with the EU new regulation, I think we have opportunities there for meal imports into the EU, because I think we can meet their requirements as far as deforestation. So I think that could be an exciting new market for U.S. soybean meal. It's been primarily a U.S. soybean or a soybean market, but I think it can be both for us now.
And that feeds very well, I think, into another opportunity when we talk about sustainability and when we talk about how we do things here. I know the regenerative ag space is a big space for ADM. Talk about that as an opportunity.
Back to the EU regulations in January 2025, these new regulations take place. Imports into the European Union have to be from deforestation-free land. So we think it's a huge opportunity for the U.S. and for Iowa specifically, because we believe most of our farmland here qualifies as such. And so for the 2024-2025 crop year, we're purchasing EU-DR deforestation-free soybeans. And we also intend on shipping deforestation-free soybean meal to the EU. So we think it's a great opportunity actually for the U.S.
Lastly, why should farmers be optimistic about the future of the soybean industry and the soybean crush industry?
I think this is a super exciting time for farmers in the soybean industry. With the growth in crush, anytime we have further growth, that's further demand, and it's further markets for soybean farmers and hopefully higher prices. So I think it's very exciting. The next 5 years, it feels a bit like the Wild West right now, right? We had this market that was growing, but a slow growth, and now we have this accelerated growth and new players and everything. And I think it's a great time to be a soybean grower and in the soybean business.
Well, Matt, I would be remiss if I didn't say also thank you for ADM's support of the Iowa Soybean Association. You've been a longtime friend of the Iowa soybean farmer, which means you support our work on behalf of soybean farmers as well. So thank you for that. Reporting for this edition of the State of Soy, I'm Aaron Putsey.
Everything starts with the land. We really respect farmers.
There's nothing that we cannot help a client with. The brokerage, the management, the appraisal, and the investment are 4 pillars that really go so well together.
We work with a lot of really great people working incredibly hard to provide for their families, their community, and the country.